Swim, walk, paddle with Nick and Alexander. It's F-U-N and it never gets old. Swim in the pool, in the river, in the ocean. Walk in the bush, don't worry if it's hot, and don't worry if it's cold. Swim, walk, paddle with Nick and Alexander. Paddle up and down in the rivers and the creeks. Swim, walk, paddle with Nick and Alexander. It's F-U-N, even if we're getting old.
So recently we were on Lord Howe Island, very beautiful spot. And one of the first things you do when you're on Lord Howe Island is hire some bikes so that you can ride around for your entire holiday, which is great fun. Not too many cars on the island. Everyone gets around on bikes. And just a bit of an overview here. So you've got Mount Gower there in the south end of the island, Mount Lidgeberg. The yellow dot in the middle is the lagoon area near Rabbit Island that we swam a lot in. And the blue one over the other side of the island, on the eastern side of the island, is Middle Beach that we went to visit for a little bit as well. And these islands, rocky outcrop that you can see there near the yellow dot, is where we went diving later in the week, and that was Admiralty Islands. But this is just back in the lagoon. You can see Rabbit Island there in the middle closest. It's actually called Blackburn Island, but it looks like a rabbit apparently, so everyone calls it Rabbit Island. And this is just some super easy, straight off the beach snorkeling in the lagoon, and the water was just beautiful. We rode our bikes around for the entire holiday, even to dinner at night time, which was great. Here's a little trip to Middle Beach. And this is the eastern side of the island, opposite to the lagoon. And there's Admiralty Islands there again in the distance. And the water on this side is just as beautiful. So after we'd been to Middle Beach, we went back onto the lagoon side, and Alexander decided that he was going to swim to Rabbit Island. It's about 1 kilometre. So I paddled the support kayak and he swam out to Rabbit Island, Blackburn Island. Some military aircraft were practicing coming into land, and then they were actually just going round, not actually landing. And while he was swimming to Rabbit Island, there were things to see under the water as well. So some beautiful corals in the lagoon there under the water. It's me as support crew. Rabbit Island doesn't have rabbits on it. In fact, the whole of Lord Howe's been cleared of rats and cats so that they could have the wood hens come back in the population. We got to Rabbit Island. Alexander swam across, I kayaked across. And then when we go back in a little bit, that yellow dot is kind of back where we go. But first we had a bit of a snorkel around from Rabbit Island. And I think you can tell how in love with Lord Howe we were, and how much it was just amazing because we were everywhere all at once. Like fast with everything. Bushwalking, kayaking, snorkeling. There was a lot to do. So this is coming back from Rabbit Island, Alexander swimming back there and me paddling, and that's the northern end of the island you could see there. And of course on the way back there were things to see, butterfly fish under the water as he was swimming back as well. And once we were back, we decided that we would go snorkeling. So we went out with one of the tour companies in the boat out to the back of Rabbit Island. So between where the fringing reef break is and Rabbit Island, and there were baby Galapagos sharks in the water, which is why I already had the red filter on, and it took me so long to get in. I was a bit freaked out, but that's Alexander already in there. And if you look closely when I give you the shot of him, you can see a little fin swimming around with him out there. So that's why I was on the edge of the boat, procrastinating a little bit. But of course, once you're in, you're fine. And there's Alexander practicing his free diving down there. It was a really good snorkel because we drifted with the current a bit and the boat moved around and picked us up at the end of the snorkel drift. I think by the end though I might have been getting a bit cold, so some of that juddering might just literally be me shaking. It was pretty cold by the time we got out.
Swim, walk, paddle with Nick and Alexander. It's FUN, so come on, let's go!